Gorr, one of the most menacing villains, is being unveiled in Thor: Love and Thunder. And at this point, it should come as no surprise that Marvel Studios frequently uses characters from comic books in the most inventive ways. Sure, some changes are made in order to tell a new tale or to improve the scenario. But where do you draw the line? You see, Gorr, the God Butcher, a figure portrayed by Christian Bale, differs significantly from his actual storyline in numerous ways. And this video will tell you exactly how, along with the entire story of the real Gorr. But before we begin, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future uploads. Now, without wasting another moment, let's get right into it. So Gorr, the God Butcher, was born on a planet with no name, almost every day on the brink of starvation, and though he had been raised to believe in the gods, they had never answered his prayers. He had to fend for himself in the tough surroundings after the early deaths of his mother and father. Growing older, he got married and had some kids. But sadly, most of them passed away, leaving him heartbroken. When an earthquake murdered Gorr's expectant partner Ara, each of his children died one by one, leaving him with just one son, Agar. And when Agar was on the verge of a starved death, Gorr tried to soothe his suffering by assuring his son that they were going to arrive at a forest where they would never be hungry again. Sadly, Agar couldn't make it still. Grieving in Agar's demise, Gorr lost faith and publicly declared his conviction that there were no gods, leading to his expulsion from his superstitious tribe. While wandering the desert praying to die, Gorr saw two gods engaged in battle. A dark older deity known as Null and a gold-armored purple-skinned god strengthened by the Enigma force fall out of the sky and crash land nearby. After being shocked to learn that there were no gods, Gorr was furious when the gold-armored god pleaded for assistance. The dark god Null's sword became into an amorphous mass of living darkness and became bounded to Gorr, which he then used ferociously. After killing the gold-armored god with his new weapon, all black the Necro Sword, Gorr vowed to seek vengeance against all gods and set out to kill them all. He despised all gods and traveled the cosmos for thousands of years to exact his retribution, going on a murder crusade in which he allegedly killed many gods of fear, war, chaos, genocide, revenge, plagues, and earthquake. He even murdered an American deity sometime in the 9th century, whose body washed up on the shores of Iceland, where Thor discovered it. Thor subsequently discovered several of the Slavic gods dead while traveling with a Viking raiding force to Russia, and then Gorr assaulted Thor. And just as he was about to murder him, Thor summoned a bolt of lightning that put both of them out. Gorr recovered and hid in a cave, where he fought Thor once again. And despite Gorr's 17-day attempt to torture Thor, which was aimed to learn where Asgard was, Thor managed to survive long enough for his Viking followers to locate him. This caused Gorr to get distracted, allowing Thor to recover and sever Gorr's right arm. Post this, Thor thought he had killed him, but he managed to survive their fight. Then, over the course of the following 1,000 years, he would kill many gods, strengthen himself even more, and gather a legion of evil minions to help him in his cause. Gorr assaulted Chronix to seize the Pool of Forevers and used the blood of the time gods to travel through time, while Thor searched for him in the cave where they previously battled. He returned to the beginning of the cosmos and killed one of the first elder gods, claiming the heart of the young god as a prize. Then, moving thousands of years into the future, he traveled to Earth 14,412, where he established his base of operations and enslaved every deity he could accept for All-Father Thor. In the following 900 years, Gorr made the captive gods dig for materials to construct the God Bomb, which he intended to use to wipe out all gods across the time stream, from the cores of stars and broken planets. He also fashioned replicas of his deceased wife and kid out of the all-black symbiote. However, he was unaware that his son actually represented his subconscious self-hatred. Thor once again took notice of Gorr's activities centuries later and began hunting him. Then a prayer summoned him to a world without gods, recognizing Gorr's handiwork when he found the world's deities slaughtered. By then, Gorr had sent black berserkers into the past to retrieve the young Thor from around 800 AD, the Thor he first met. and brought him back to the future where he was enslaved with the other surviving gods. This was done after the arrival of Thor the Avenger from Earth 616. Young Thor attempted to destroy the god bomb with a chunk of a star but was launched off the planet instead, where he met Thor the Avenger and King Thor. The three resolved to attack Gorr in his planet for the last time, and they came close to killing him. But Gorr was too powerful for absorbing the power of the gods he had murdered, and he overcame them, leaving them for dead. He even slashed his wife's construct when he referred to him as a deity. However, Agar made the decision to help Thor the Avenger take down the god Butcher after realizing that his father had effectively turned into the same thing he had always hated. Thor absorbed the explosion of the god bomb and the Necrosword, charged by the sun's prayers and those of every living deity in all of space and time. Then he managed to weaken Gorr using its might, and Agar referred to Gorr as the god of hypocrisy, before Thor's previous self murdered him. But the story doesn't end here. Gorr had managed to leave his mark on the Thor of Earth 616, even after his death because of Gorr's philosophy, which made Thor unworthy and prevented him from lifting Mjolnir. The Butcher god's consciousness was trapped within all black, and he was at last content in a nothingness devoid of gods. Eons after his death, Gorr was resurrected by King Loki, all blacks then host by manifesting a copy of his body from the symbiote, in order to kill All-Father Thor. Gorr, however, stopped their fight by regaining all black and impaling King Loki with it through the back. He insulted Thor and Loki while crucifying them both, but the power of the All-Father blasted him into orbit. Gorr, recalling the fragments and progeny of All Black, fought All-Father Thor in a conflict that destroyed solar systems, swearing to make Thor witness his slaughter of the people of Midgard and all other life left in the cosmos, before he created his own cosmos and made sure they had no need for worship. And after Loki attacked him, Gorr severed him and then engulfed both brothers in all black, proclaiming that he had transcended mortality and was now more than just a deity but a force of nature. After this, Gorr attempted to devour Thor by creating a black hole, but was deterred when King Loki told him the tale of every brave act Thor had ever done. This allowed Thor to use Mjolnir to unleash the full power of the god Tempest and kill the all-black symbiote. He was then again brought back to life as a mortal, but left amnesiac and mad. And in the end, Gorr was taken by the Skylords of Indigar to live out the rest of his days in peace. So this was the real story behind Gorr. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future uploads. Also, make sure you check out our channel for more of such interesting stories. We'll see you next time with another intriguing one. Until then, stay mythical.